Top 7 Common Mistakes to Avoid Before Building a Shipping Container House. Hello and welcome to this week's video. Not every shipping container is suitable for building a container house. The general misconception that any container can be used as a building block for a new container home is misleading. With the rising cost of building and more people becoming environmental conscious, building with shipping containers is becoming a new fad for green building and also an alternative cost-effective material for building a new house. If you love shipping container homes, or are exploring the possibilities of building your own, this video brings to you the top 7 common mistakes to avoid before building a shipping container house. Stay tuned to find out the do's and don'ts of building with shipping containers. Feel free to subscribe to our channel for our weekly videos on shipping container home design. Number 7. Buying the wrong type of shipping container. Purchasing the wrong type of shipping container is the most common mistake people make when building their shipping container home. Shipping containers are not the same. They vary in length and height. A majority of the people who do not know the difference, built their home using regular shipping containers. Apart from the 20-foot and 40-foot regular shipping container, we also have high cube containers of similar lengths. Regular shipping containers are 8 foot 6 inches in height, whereas high cube containers are 9 foot 6 inches tall. The additional foot on high cube containers is perfect for putting ceiling insulation without compromising the headroom of the habitable space. However, high cube containers cost slightly more than the regular ones, but considering the resultant benefits, it is worth the cost. Number 6. Buying very old containers. Buying an old container may be cheap but will cost you more to restore and maintain. This is true to the old adage, cheap can be expensive. Old containers come with challenges of dampness, corrosion, deformed corners and dented wall and roof panels. It is advisable to inspect the containers in person before buying them. Seeing the container is more preferable, but if it's not possible to inspect the container physically, ask for photos of all corner joints and also underneath and above the containers to ascertain the exact state of the container before paying for them. Homes built from shipping containers can be a real health concern because of the possibility of multiple toxic exposures, from toxic spillages and contamination from various cargo products. Very old containers multiply the risk even further. If you must use old containers, consider sandblasting all internal surfaces down to the bare metal, then seal and repaint with non-toxic paint. To avoid all these problems, it is advisable to buy a one-way shipping container whenever possible. Number 5. Using wrong type of insulation. For a container to be conducive for human habitation, indoor climate control is essential. Steel is a good conductor of heat, therefore, the home will need to be insulated better than conventional houses, especially in regions with extreme temperature variations. Without a thoughtful and comprehensive temperature control strategy, your shipping container home could be absolutely freezing in cold climates or a smoking hot box in summer. In addition, condensation and dampness can easily form on the interior walls, forming rust which can be very costly to remove. The local climate should dictate the type of insulation to use. In very cold climates, the insulation used should provide a seamless vapor barrier. While in hot and dry climates, the insulation used should be appropriate to keep the heat away. With this in mind, there is no one-size-fits-all scenario when it comes to insulation. Spray foam insulation is the best to use under normal conditions because of the advantages that come with it. Other types of insulation such as insulation panels, blanket insulation, lightweight concrete plaster, planted roof garden, and recycled eco-friendly materials offer alternatives to use. Number 4. Over-modification of containers. Incorporating design flair into shipping containers is not a bad thing. Cutting out too much steel from the walls and the roof interferes with the structural integrity and strength of shipping containers. Cutting out steel for windows and doors is almost negligible, but removing entire or large portions of the walls or the roof may need to consult an expert, especially multiple-story buildings. Even though the corners of a container module are extremely strong, in fact they can be stacked up to 8 containers high when they are fully loaded, the roof and walls are not that strong. The modules are designed to be stacked at the corners. Loading at any other position or making openings in the roof and walls introduces weak points, calling for further reinforcement with steel sections. This eventually translates into additional costs and time overruns on the project. Number 3. Using inexperienced contractor or builder. Shipping container homes are relatively a new way of building across the globe. Finding a building contractor who has experience in building a shipping container home can be one of the hardest things to do when you want to build one. Most people want to build their shipping container homes themselves, however sometimes this just isn't possible either because they don't have enough time, or they don't have previous DIY experience. Ensure you get a contractor with experience so they will be able to advise you and guide you throughout the process and deliver the project within budget. Apart from the general contractor, specialized contractors are necessary for specialized works, such as electrical and plumbing works. At number 2. Ignoring building planning laws and regulations. This certainly can be one of the hardest part of building a shipping container home. However, this requirement isn't just unique to shipping container homes, it's applicable to all new homes which are built in the United States and other parts of the world, regardless of their construction material. Obtaining a building permit can take months, even years, and cost several $1,000s depending on where you need to build. It is advisable factor in the time overrun costs that come with building permit delays. However, in some cities, if your land lies outside of city zoning, this means your land lies outside of the building permit regulations, you can build there without a permit. Before embarking on any shipping container project, carry out a proper research on your local planning laws and acquire the relevant permits to prevent hitting a brick wall with your project. Last but not least, at number 1. Assuming container homes are cheap to build. The general assumption that building a shipping container home is cheaper than is not necessarily true. Container housing may be a viable alternative accommodation option, but it depends on so many factors such as the location of the house, the size of the house, the type of finishes used, and the cost of contingencies. Container homes involve a lot of welding. Welding takes a long time and is expensive, so try to keep it to a minimum. Over-modification of containers is another source of additional costs. Container walls are load-bearing and bracing, cutting openings will need additional steel reinforcement, hence additional costs. The sheer size and weight of the modules generally require a crane or forklift to place each container on location. This is a cost you would perhaps not incur in conventional build. Insulation is another cost to look at. If you are building in a tropical climate, your only challenge is to keep away heat, but this is not the case for temperate climate. In this case you need to keep off the cold and conserve heat at the same time. This cost variation is worth exploring. Looking at all the hidden costs and extra work that is needed to make these steel boxes habitable, I may be too early to generalize that building with shipping containers is a cheaper option. Did you find our analysis exhaustive and informative enough to help you start your container home project? Or if you have built your own shipping container home, let us know what mistakes you made in your project and how you corrected or are planning to remedy them moving forward. If you feel we have left out something, kindly let us know by posting in the comments below. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up, and feel free to share it. Remember to subscribe for our weekly videos on shipping container homes. See you in the next video.